one of the things that we should talk about, because a lot of annual calendars and perpetual calendars, they do feature a moon phase, which is quite a kind of romantic complication in a way. You do get watches that just have moon phases on, I mean, why are they important? These days, it's probably difficult to sort of justify why people would have a moon phase on a dial, other than they look attractive. But obviously, the moon has got significance in our lives and in the world, in that they control the tides, etc., have an influence on tides. So, I mean, a moon phase is a nice looking complication. It's just basically replicates where the moon is in its waxing and waning cycle. On many moon phases, you will see you'll see a sort of half circle on a dial with two kind of raised bits. In the aperture, it's called a bosom moon phase, for reasons that, if we're showing them on screen, probably will become apparent to you. But effectively, there's a cycle. The moon cycle is 29.5 days. So often you see a scale over the moon phase. It's sort of 29.5, 29 and a half. Basically, within the complication of the moon phase, there are, I think it's 59 teeth, which each 24 hours move one space, and that advances the moon. And once it's set, it aligns with, every 24 hours it will click over, and you'll get the moon waxing and waning over the 29.5 days. But this is where it does sort of slightly get a little bit mathematical, which is way beyond me. But effectively, the moon cycle is 29 days, 12 hours, 44 minutes and 2.8 seconds. So it's not exactly 29 and a half, which means that over the period of because there's a slight variance, and because there's only sort of 59 teeth in general on a moon phase, after 2 years, 7 months, your moon phase will be a day out. So you'll have to correct the moon phase. And it sort of shows the length that some manufacturers go to correct things that you would think are sort of inconsequential, in that every 2.5 years you have to adjust your moon phase. H. Moser, on their endurance moon phase, made a moon phase that worked and would only be out by 1 day after 1,000 years.
So the perpetual calendar of
moon phases.
I don't know
who you're going to take it back to complain about, but that was sort of general idea. So they stretched what they're able to do in terms of complications to an nth degree. And I think there's a brand called Van der Klauer, and I don't know whether they managed to stretch the day correction required to like 11,000 years or some ludicrous amount of time. But again, it kind of expresses the depth that the brands go into to show their expertise and the general all-round cleverness that they have. Well,
I was just going to say, the level of detail you just talked us through, most people would, even if you own a moon phase, probably not be aware of that level, and it always amazes me the facts that you can remember. But it also, to your point, showcases what the brands are capable of doing, and how they're constantly trying to push their own boundaries, particularly on something that it's not a function we actually need. No. Calendars, relevant, the same as dates and things like that, but I don't think anybody's life is worse off if you don't have a moon phase. That's not to say that they're not valuable, but if you just think about the attention to detail and that goes into it on something that isn't a necessity, it's incredible.
Yeah, it is, yeah.